It makes its profit off of selling people an unnecessary saving. Most people believe that redemption can be attained after they die. Some pale-faced white man will come raise them from the dead and fix all their problems. The problem is you have time while you are alive to fix your own problems by not creating them. Don't think foolishness, and foolishness will not think about you. Get rid of Santa, get rid of Rudolph, get rid of the egg-loving Easter Bunny. Get rid of the egg-laying Easter Bunny. If only they would think. Bunnies do not hatch eggs. Stupid ass Christians. Oops, got emotional. My bad. Stop smoking cigarettes. No need for foolishness. Do not eat dead animals. No need for foolishness. Do not believe that a man had a baby. Do not. No need for foolishness. This same man had 2 male sons, Cain and Abel. No females in the story. One brother murders the other brother and then runs off and populates the earth. No need for foolishness. Men need women to bear children for them. No man has ever done anything greater than him being pushed out of his mother. So you Christians have no problem with all the aborted lives of would-be spiritual essence manifested in matter, because your consciousness is about foolishness and not divine ritualing. Otherwise, how could this happen? Babies are not property of Jesus Christ or the corrupt corporate systems of the planet. You are all sitting around divided and conquered. All you melanated preachers, deacons, ministers, evangelists, bishops, mothers, sisters, brothers, the world won't have to worry about your foolish asses, stupid asses, preaching that Jesus shit much longer, because as you worship that white devil as your God, he is killing all your children via Planned Parenthood, and you, the black women, with that wig on your head, is going to be held accountable for the extermination of that would-be God or goddess. So my advice to you is to think about the law, thou shalt not kill. You know there is a life in you that you don't want to be responsible for. So you think, oh, I'll just kill it. So you go with your business to building to put your black neighborhood by business. Okay, excuse me. So you go on with your building to put your black babies in a deaf neighborhood by businessmen that looks like your Jesus work. These same businessmen own the building you got pregnant in. They own the building you are going to team up with them and kill your son or daughter in. They manufacture and control all birth control systems all over the planet. They own West Angeles Church in Los Angeles, California, and they own all the Caucasian, Muslim, and Jewish worship centers all over the planet Earth. These white men, these white devils, have put all your dumb asses, stupid asses, to sleep. There is no way for any of you to challenge any of my allegations. The truth is that the melanated man and woman should be exterminated, and that's why we are being exterminated. You see, now you are mad enough to want to kill your melanated brother simply because the truth hurts. Be honest, if a society does not have a problem with women murdering children, then that society probably wouldn't find slavery to be intolerable either. That society might even condone war and ethnic cleansing. My point is, don't think you're going to ask Jesus to forgive you for any of the things mentioned or not mentioned and get an okay, but do it again. And get an okay, but don't do it again. It does not work like that. Every action has its consequence. Our action today creates our tomorrow's formulation. Christians are the most ungodly people on earth. They are confused whether to pursue spirituality or materiality. The Christian religion gives them the opportunity to ride the fence with one leg dangling on each side. The biggest problem is the worship of a white man as your God. You know his actions are not godly, but you worship the white man image, while he and you abort young God and goddesses. Dumbass Christians, it's the religion you all belong to. Say that, see how it resonates with you. Come on, you can do it. Try it. Dumbass Christian. Good for you. Good for your soul. No good God-loving assembly of people or masses of people should sit back and do nothing while young babies are murdered by would-be mothers sitting in Sunday's sermon. No one in the whole church could help bring God into, or the goddess, into the realm of time and space. Yet millions of Christians can claim ownership and responsibilities in the child Holocaust. The fact that Christianity with all its ethnic groups involved, is the largest organization on the planet. This type of influence has to stand on some type of social, moral, or controlled divine principle, just because it outnumbers any other organization. If all Christians were really godly people, how could slavery and children murder be so overlooked? Let me answer for you. No one cares, because Christians have permission from God to kill any non-white people according to their Bible. Read Deuteronomy and see for yourself. That's Deuteronomy 7. You can read Deuteronomy 7 all the way through Deuteronomy, but start at Deuteronomy 7 and read from Deuteronomy 7 until you get tired. All it does is give white people, the Israelites, permission to murder black people. That's all it does, and steal their stuff. That's all it said. Deuteronomy chapter 7. Go read it. See for yourself. Okay? So all melanated men and women that claim to be Christians should be down at all Planned Parenthood centers demanding the dead bodies of all those babies be brought to trial with the universe as judge and jury. You, of course, just want to worship Jesus and not worry about all that other stuff. It's not your problem. She should have not gotten pregnant. Yeah, you forgot your ass got pregnant too. But now your uppity Jesus-loving ass can't love anyone else but Jesus. How pathetic you are to believe that you will not be held accountable for all the young girls that you were too jealous of to try to help. Or you were just too busy with the deacon, or was it minister, or maybe sister. Whole lot of that going on in the Christian church too. Nothing can imprison a person like the illusion of one's own mental prison. Competition in today's churches are molded after the same type of actions found in nightclubs. Most lounges say the presence of alcohol offer the same menus as most Christian churches. Preachers and singers play the roles of bartenders and entertainment. The preachers get you intoxicated off all the brainwashing agitation that you have been receiving since birth. Your mother and her mother predisposed you to the Christian epistemology that the preacher warms up with more pulpit rhetorical bullshit about some deity that would solve your problems if only you could believe. The church collects money as long as you believe. The singers are what the church uses as a bonus that the believers believe the church was nice enough to supply. When you go to a nightclub, you pay before you enter the building. In the Christian church, you always pay after the choir sings. Most nightclubs only open on the weekend. Likewise, the same thing with most church cathedrals. This is only possible because huge masses of people pay huge dollars to be entertained by singers. The spreading of toxic theologies and toxic beverages is definitely a European trademark. The nightclub and church club competition is obviously a Christian privilege paradigm of Western hypocrisy that melanated people subscribe to en masse. Whether it be church or nightclub, poison toxins are what's being sold in both arenas or coliseums or edifices. Okay, that's it on that. Thanks for bearing that out with me. I know it took a minute because I was playing the music and I got pretty emotional, you know, I always do. But we made it. Peace and blessings. Hotel America. Peace and blessings. This is Asaraj Tepen Rama'at. I got a little something I want to share with you. Okay, religion versus spirituality. This is the definition of religion. And the definition of its true purpose. Religion may be defined as a cultural, philosophical vehicle of spiritual and intellectual enslavement, which has its end. Okay? Now listen to this. I want you to read this objective, alright? My aim or my objective is to begin the process of undoing or reversing ideals and concepts that have been programmed into the minds of our people by the religious statements and church doctrines that have caused them to adopt a belief system that has resulted in their loss of contact with what is real, factual, historical, and spiritual. Okay? Now I want to give you guys a definition of a psychological impairment. Okay? Now listen to this. A psychological impairment is the belief in something that is not factual. Okay? The belief in something that is not factual. I mean, you can't prove it, but you believe it. Okay? I mean, you can't prove that it's true. You can't prove that it's a fact, but you believe it. So a psychological impairment, the belief in something that is not factual. Okay, believing in Santa Claus could be a psychological impairment. Okay, or the Easter Bunny, or Frosty the Snowman, and yes, even Jesus. Okay, sorry to tell you that, but that's the truth. Now, okay, cultural and racial superiority of the people who created it is the religious purpose number one. Okay, number one purpose of religion, okay, is the psychological impairment of a people. That's what the number one purpose of religion's teaching is. It's to psychologically impair someone. Okay? Now listen to this. The parasites of analysis by those who believe in it and does not want you to question or think about the religious teaching. Okay? That means the preachers that tell you just take Jesus and run with it. Alright? And you can't question it. Like, you can't ask them a question. But wait a minute, what if don't ask me that? You know, that's what they're saying. You say, well, what about the fact that don't ask me that, is what they're saying. Okay? That's where we at right there. Okay? The perpetual empowerment of the agenda intended by its purpose. Number 3, the agenda behind religion is to take away a person's power to make logical concepts of their reality and surroundings. Okay, that means that the agenda behind religion is to take away a person's power to make logical concepts of their reality and surroundings. Okay, that means mislead you. Spirituality may be defined as the existential relationship of a cosmological person, black African people, to these cosmological realities. Okay? Cosmological is the word which means universe or nature. Mother Nature is the cosmos. Nature. God, Asar, Aset, and Haru. You can give your God any name you want to give it, but don't make your God be the only God there is and force it on someone else. That's when you're wrong. See, I'm never trying to force my God on anyone. All I say to everybody is that, you know, if you had any sense, you put no other God before your real God, which is yourself. The Bible tells you that. Okay, so don't get mad at me for pointing that out. That's just what a lot of people miss. You know, the Bible even tells you, know ye not that you are gods and all that, but everybody want their God to be something they have to go pay for. Because you've been brainwashed. They tell you that right here. The agenda behind religion is to take away a person's power to make logical concepts of their reality and surroundings. So your true reality is that you are God. And your surroundings is God too. But you can't think that way because you want to get rid of your surroundings and you want to get rid of yourself and make the only thing on earth that's God be your Jesus. That's kind of stupid. I hate to tell you that. Okay, now cosmological, we just went over that. Now spirituality is intuitive and individualistically unique. It is not defined or regulated by someone else. Any religion, organization, belief, or doctrinal statements. Okay, logical equals the study of all matters of the universe and nature. Cosmos equals universe. Cosmological beings are black or African people, equals people with melanin. Now, don't get mad at me because I said that cosmological people are people with melanin. I didn't say that means that it's not white people. Mostly, the only people who create an existence for themselves and exclude other people out of it is Europeans. No other race of people on earth has ever been that serious about dichotomizing the human family like you guys have been. So you're going to have to keep that soul on yourself, okay? Because no one else has put this division on the earth the way it is but you guys. So when you see black people saying stuff like what I just said, that Cosmo means Africans or black people, is only because everybody on earth are black people or human, H-U-E, man, except for the people, of course, who wants to call themselves white. Okay, that's really the truth, you guys. Okay, so don't blame nobody but yourself. Okay, all right, that's just a little something I wanted to share with you on that. All right. There's more. I'm not through yet. Okay? I want to tell you guys, listen to this. Okay, a Marxist, with the inclusion of Lenin's ideal that imperialism is the final stage of capitalism, and Lenin's shifting of the focus of class struggle from industrialized to non-industrialized society. The Zionist, supporter of Jewish state, supporters of Zionism, South African Christian with traditional African beliefs and forms of worship. Now that's where they got started. Okay, but they changed and later on tried to denounce everything about the South African people, meaning the Hebrews, teaching them about this type of religion. They came and got it from them. The Zionists is the Jewish people too. That's what the controlling power, the Zionists are what you could call hierarchy Jews, which is not affiliated in so much as a conglomerate with most just regular Jews. See, Jews is not a nationality. The word Jew, G-E-W, J-E-W came from U-I. Used to be U-I-I-U. The Hebrews were black people in Egypt that was from the land of Canaanites. They came into Egypt and were studying the Egyptian mystery system. Some white people came along, started studying with these Canaanites, learned everything that they could, and then left and went back to Europe with these knowledges around Russia. Opened up a party of merchants called Turks. These Turks were very wise because they had learned stuff in Egypt, took advantage of all the people around them, became rich off those people, created the colonization between the local people around them in that area, got wealthy from that, spread from there all around the world. These people are known as Ashkenazim, Caucasoids. The Turks, they call them, there's many names that they go by. I'm not going to try to say too much on that because I'm not really 100% correct on all the other names I should say, but we're definitely going to run with Ashkenazim, and we're definitely going to run with Khazars. Both of them we know we can run with, okay? Okay, a Nazi is a member of the fascist German nationalist socialist party that came to power under the leadership of Adolf Hitler. That's not true. Adolf Hitler was the person that they put into power to be the fall guy, but it didn't come into power under him. They said it did because I told you the story when they was upset about their land being taken, and they went into anyway, Hitler was just a person that, well, he could make good speeches, and all the power that was behind him was the controlling mafia governments, okay? All right, Bolshevism is ideology and policies of the Bolsheviks, especially advocacy of the forcible overthrow of capitalism, okay? In other words, they were the people, they were from Russia, and they had a Russian fight, and they had just actually these were some badasses. They came into Germany and were setting up their shop right in Germany, but the Germans wasn't having they shit. They sent some policemen and killed a whole lot of them guys and let them know, don't come over here with that crap, you know. Okay, and this happened right in Munich. You know, these Bolsheviks, they were some bad dudes, you know. Okay, so now, Hitler was Bavarian. That's where those Nazis who came home from the Russian front, the Russians had taken over their land in Prussia, and they was pulled off the front line, and they was upset. They went to Bavaria, and then when they sat around and watched how their people were being treated and no food and all the stuff we going through right now, they started their own little movement, and that's how Hitler, they say that's how Hitler came into power, from that right there, you know what I'm saying? Not the Bolshevism, but these Nazis were the people that was in Bulgaria that had came back from the war that was upset about how the government was running their cities. So they were almost like rebel forces, okay? Now the Essene is the ancient Jewish ascetic group that flourished in Palestine and Syria from the 2nd century BC to the BC. Men members only shared property and were of the 2nd century, celibate, and observed the Sabbath. See, now that's how I am. I don't really observe any Sabbath today. And that's probably because I haven't been really introduced to that. But I do follow the celibate. I'm an observer of that. And, you know, so a lot of my spirituality is from ancient, I wouldn't say Jewish teaching, but definitely ancient Kemetic. Okay, transliteration too, because the Jewish teachings came from ancient Kemetic. Okay. Listen to this. King James hires Sir Francis Bacon, the son of Queen Elizabeth, to edit his version of the Bible. Bacon was a Rosicrucian and filled the Bible with Masonic symbolism. Sir Francis Bacon is better known as William Shakespeare. The King James Version of the Bible was published in 1611 AD. Other versions of, wow, that wasn't long ago. That was only about 400 years ago. Okay. Other versions of the Bible were called the Vulgate and the Apocrypha. The Bible should not be considered as a book that solely belongs to the Christian world. The story of Adam and Eve was taken from ancient Kemet creation story around Asar and Aset and Heru, the true Trinity. We were taught that black people were slaves, the first and only slaves in history. This is not true. The word slaves come from the word Slav, as in Yugoslavic. Because of the way the Slavic people were treated, the condition became synonymous with the word Slav, and they added E to it and came up with slave. So see, Europeans enslaved Europeans first, okay? Okay, so a fetus is anything born with muscle or tissue. And Elo is the short version of Elohim. Elo1 is Aramaic. And Elohim is Eloah Allah, to be perplexed, afraid, to seek refuge because of fear, equals Allah. And Elo is Elohim, he who is the object of fear, or who reverence, he with whom one is afraid, find refuge. Genesis is genealogy of Isis. Amen is the Egyptian god Amun-Ra, or Amun-Ra, also Amun-Re. The slave equals Slav for Yugoslavia. A statute is not a law. A statute is a corporate policy. And a virus equals subtle microscopic parasitical particle of a nucleic acid surrounded by protein that can only replicate within a host. A virus is not an independent living organism. A virus must maintain itself by living off the cells of other living organisms. The European race is a parasitical race fitting the virus description. Now let me tell you why I say that. When you think about slavery and eradication of everybody else's history getting pushed under the rug, and their whole nationality, all their contributions, everything that they had contributed, just being eradicated and stolen from them and pushed under the rug, and then someone else taking credit for it. So let's read what a virus is again. A virus is a subtle microscopic parasitic particle of a nucleic acid surrounded by protein that can only replicate within a host. I mean that you can only survive within side of the existence sustainment of something else or someone else, a host. A virus is not an independent living organism. A virus must maintain itself by living off the cells of other living organisms. That means if you are a person who has control of everyone through violence, and all your monies and your wealth is from your propaganda of extracting money from people that you have terrorized and put under your suppression or oppression, your system of capitalism will make you be this parasitical organism or virus that maintains itself by living off the cells of others, all right? And then when I say the European race is a parasitical race fitting the virus description, when we look at your history of slavery, you can't refute it. Okay, jurisprudence is theory of law, the philosophy or science of law. Legal system, a system of law or the body of laws applied in a particular country or state. A branch of law, the law as it applies a particular area of life. And dynasty is the succession of heredity, rulers, a succession of rulers from the same family. That's what's going on in this country. You guys don't know that though, but that's a big deal in this country. This country is governed by dynasties of another country. It's not even local families that's doing it, you know. They don't even live here. You have outside countries that own this country. So that's the reason we're treated so bad, because, see, you guys think that it's just black people that's treated bad because you don't understand the true dynamics of it. You're all treated bad too. It's just that you can look and see all the black people are the ones that's really, really doing bad. And so that camouflages your state of helplessness too. But if you are a person that receives food stamps from the government, that means that you are not a person that is providing yourself with your own food. Now watch this. If you are a person who works and get money and goes into Winco and buy your food, you are still a person that is not providing yourself with your own food. You pay for food that someone else provided for you. So if you had money in your pocket and you went to Winco and Winco did not have any food, you can't eat that money that's in your pocket. Just think about that. So see, this is what has happened to us. Our ecosystem has been taken away from us, as to where now the only way you can eat is that your government keeps supplying the stores with food for you. Now, if they don't supply the store with food, you say, okay, I'll just grow food in my backyard. Here's the problem. Your government supplies you with that water that comes to your yard. And if you pay real good attention right now, they're trying to find a way to block out the sun. Okay, this is evil from the white man, not the melanated man. Keep that in mind, okay? All right, prominent and powerful family or group of people whose members retain their power and influence through several generations. Okay, that's what a dynasty is. Cartagena is the capital of Bolivia, department in northwestern Colombia, a port on the Caribbean Sea, Bay of Cartagena, population 877,000. All right. Nationalism is the desire for political independence, especially by a country under foreign control, or lay a person with a separate identity and culture, but no state of their own. That would be me. Okay, they mean denationalized people. That would mean us melanated people here in America. We have no nation. We only have an oppressor. America is not our nation. Don't think that. Because if it was, you would not be called African American. You would just be called American. You don't see the Europeans calling themselves European Americans, do you? Think about that. Okay, fascism is any movement, ideology, or attitude that favors dictatorial government, centralized control of private enterprise, extreme nationalism, or repression of all opposition. Okay? Did you hear what I said to you? Now imagine if you heard me say a couple of days ago, the only rules are zero tolerance to any opposition. Okay? Now imagine that. And then I turned around right after that and say, and I'm not trying to be no tyrant or anything like that. Now just think about that. If those are not words of a tyrant, what is? Do you understand what I'm saying? But what if they're words of a tyrant who is saying that I don't want any opposition from anyone who's trying to stop the eradication of this oppressive government? Would it be all right then? If you are serious about stopping oppression and murder and abortions of small children and things like that, how could you be the bad guy? The only way you could be the bad guy is if the people that you're saying what you're saying to, it's a large group of militant people that has a system of doing the things I just described that they want to keep running because it's profitable. All those black babies got murdered. It's big profit in that. They sold all those little melanated organs out of those babies to these white people who can't produce their own melanin. But they need that melanin to make their inside organs work properly. They putting those things in syringes and injecting them into people, into their penises, into their mouths, into their eyebrows, into their cheeks. You shoot that melanin in white people and it supercharges their asses up. That's why they need these black women constantly aborting those babies. Vampirism. It's horrible, isn't it? I mean, can you believe that? Think about that, yo. That is just something else. DNA is a substance carrying organism, genetic information, a nucleic acid molecule in the form of a twisted double helix spiral, double-stranded double helix, that is the major components of chromosomes and carries genetic information. DNA, which is found in all living organisms except some viruses, reproduces itself, and is the means by which hereditary characteristics pass from one generation to another or the next generation, okay? How you guys doing? Y'all alright? I'm sorry I'm going so fast, huh? Okay. I hope everyone's alright up there. Okay? I really do. Okay.